3 reasons why you're miserable and depressed, you feel like crap, and what to do about it. Now, this is not going to be an exhaustive list, right? But these are 3 major issues that so many young men, young women dealing with right now. It's been a while since we made a video like this, so here we go. Reason number 1, you're eating a diet of industrial produced soy slop kibble. Your diet is trash. This is one of the most obvious reasons that so many of us are dealing with chronic inflammation. All right, the inflammation of the gut being directly linked with inflammation of the brain. You know, when people say you got a gut feeling about something, your gut is actually very much involved with your emotions, right? At a physiological level, I'm not saying it's completely deterministic, right? But your gut health greatly affects your ability to deal with emotional stressors. Your gut health is crucial for the creation of neurotransmitters, right? Your gut produces compounds like serotonin, where if they're out of balance, either too little or too much, right? So a lot of people think that, oh, well, serotonin's good, you need more of it. No, too much serotonin makes you miserable as well. And gut bacteria are crucial for the production of neurotransmitters. So your diet is crap. You're eating industrial slop, manufactured and designed to make you feel like crap so that you continue eating more and more of it. Because that slight high you get from it, that little bit of dopamine you get from the crunchy / savory / sweet, the low quality salty sugary, not saying that salt and sugar are inherently bad, but the low quality salty sugary corn syrup based GMO soy sludge that you're eating is weaponized. Right? Kellogg was a company whose initial product line was designed to make people infertile. Right? It was designed to decrease human libido, your libido being a measurement of your vitality, your energy levels. When you have low energy levels, when you're chronically inflamed, when you are malnourished, fertility shuts down. We see the fertility shut down in vegan populations, right? The fruitarians famously thinking that is some badge of honor and spiritual and physical cleanliness to lose your period if you're a woman. This is nonsense. We got to get off the soy sludge crap. So line up your diet, focusing on quality animal foods, focusing on locally produced foods, right? On organically produced foods. Doesn't mean you got to produce all the food yourself or go directly to the farm, but hey, it sure does help to get involved in the production, right? Having some backyard hens if you live in an area where you can do that, having some of your own animals, or going to local producers who are engaged in regenerative agriculture practices and supporting them. All right, so focusing on quality animal foods, right? Animal fat, animal protein, the most easily digested and bioavailable foods for fat and protein, the only easily digested and bioavailable fats and proteins come from animal foods. Without the indigestible, soluble and insoluble fiber, without the chitin shell, the destructive chitin that these philanthropists who are trying to get us to eat bugs and replace our animal foods with bugs are telling us it's just fine, it's just fine. And we got to be focusing on these foods. So beef, eggs, raw dairy. These are the foods that are so easily digested, that can nourish the gut, and that should be the baseline of our diet. Reason number 2, you are consuming a psychological and emotional and spiritual diet of weaponized pop culture and psyops. Stop watching the news. Stop paying so much attention to what people who openly say they despise you and think you're useless eaters want you to pay attention to. The endless droning wars and rumors of wars. I'm not saying not to be informed, right? But becoming a pop culture psyop victim will make you feel constantly victimized, constantly attacked, and in a constant state of fear and trepidation that leads to what's called learned helplessness. We are being gaslit at a mass scale that is completely unimaginable, would have been unimaginable to our very recent ancestors, 100, 200 years ago. People would not have fathomed the ability for mass mind control that is right at the fingertips of these people who are pulling the strings of mass media.
To the distinguished audience, this is a message from the World Economic Forum. We want to ensure that you do not listen to this bigot who will tell you to go to shock.com. There's a link in the description. Do not click the link in the description. It will bring you to a place where you can get highest quality adaptogens so that you can thrive. But the World Economic Forum would much prefer that you would continue to eat your bugs, live in your crumpod, maintain your social credit score, and do not purchase these products. If you do use the coupon code BIG53LIFE, you will get 53% off all subscriptions for life. Do not get a subscription for 53% off of the highest quality purified shilajit. It is best for you to continue to consume the soy sludge. It is preferable that you continue to drink the tap water, avoid quality food, and do not take shock highest quality supplements. Thank you very much. The World Economic Forum loves you ever so much.
We have to stop buying their narratives. Their narratives will have you covering your face with a plastic face nappy, breathing microplastic particles. It will have your brains and bodies injected with all sorts of nonsensical ideas and physical materials that will modify your thought processes, and even your biological processes. So we need to stop consuming the pop culture, the hypersexualized, pornographic, violent, spiteful culture, right? The oppression Olympics, the hypersexualization, the sexualization of violence, and the violencization, not even a word, of sexuality. This is destroying our minds. It's destroying our families. And it makes us feel like crap. Right? We should be reading instead of watching so much television. We shouldn't be scrolling social media all day. We have to set boundaries because it's destroying us mentally, psychologically, and aesthetically. Reason number 3 why so many of us are depressed, feel like crap, angsty, angry, spiteful, or afraid, or all of the above, is nihilism. The rejection of objective truth, the rejection of God, and the embracing of a nihilistic culture leads us to feel like we're useless, leads us to believe nonsensical doctrines that hold that we are just biological robots, that we're just meat puppets in a cold, deterministic universe that doesn't care about us. The depersonalization of the divine, right, and the removal of objective truth from our lives that this nihilistic culture has brought about is the root. Father Seraphim Rose said it is the root of the revolution of the modern age, right? This revolutionary spirit that leads people to engage in self-destructive behaviors that destroy their bodies, their minds, their communities, their cultures. The root of that, Father Seraphim Rose identified in his book Nihilism as nihilism. So we need to disconnect from this nihilistic pop culture and embrace tradition. Right? And that's going to help us to build our lives in a meaningful way, to curate our home environment in a meaningful way. Right? The aesthetics of our nihilistic pop culture are completely demonic. It's pornographic. In referencing Father Seraphim Rose again, he said that that pornography is the iconography of the demons. He said pornography is the iconography of Antichrist. And he was absolutely right there. But our entire culture has become pornographic. Right? And the pornography of our culture is not just the sexual pornography, but also the neon McMonoculture Marvel aesthetics, right, of secular superheroes that people worship, right? We got to get rid of the Marvel aesthetics, the freaking Star Wars, the Funko Pops, all of this microplastic McMonoculture that we're consuming. Shoot, I mean, we're even physically consuming it, right? Look at all the microplastics in our food supply. Our food supply that's tainted and covered with iconography of Disney characters, colorful cartoons of dehumanized humans and humanized animals. This aesthetic is killing us, right? This the culture that we live in that tells us we are useless eaters instills in us a self-destructive tendency that people are living out. Right, so building our lives, building our families around the truth, building up our families and structuring our day around the truth. This is why it's such a blessing to have this is one of the things that's so powerful about what the Orthodox Church gives us, right? And that's daily praxis, right? Daily habits that are curated around building meaning in our lives, right? Building up repentance, building up strength and connection to the truth, to God. So, right, just simple things like praying together as a family in the morning first thing and in the evening before we go to bed. These simple practices like curating an area of the home, a corner, a wall of the home that's dedicated towards the aesthetics of the transcendental, right? The iconography in the icon corner, right? Lighting an oil lamp, praying together. We structure our minds, we structure our day, and we structure our behaviors through these habits that we curate. So the third one, obviously, I think is by far the most important one, and is going to affect the other two reasons that I listed, which of course, as I mentioned, is a non-exhaustive list. This isn't all the reasons why we're miserable and depressed, but are some of the main ones. Right? This third one is of vital importance. So anyways, we got to curate good in our lives. We have to be moving towards truth in our lives. And we got to disconnect from the toxic McMonoculture. We got to get out of our coon pods, get out in the real world, get out in the natural world, move our bodies. Move our bodies, get natural light, eat real foods. All these things are really important. So, hope that helps. Just a little starting point with which to attack the negative habits of body and of mind that are destroying us, destroying our culture. I'll see you guys next time.